So did you know that Nokia used to make Linux tablets? Apparently they still do, but today we're talking about this little thing released almost 20 years ago. It's not really something you would describe as a tablet these days. I mean, heck, even back then it was probably a bit of a stretch, as this is more of a small internet appliance that could browse the web, check email, read ebooks, and do a few other things too. So when I found this one for sale on eBay a while back, well, it's sitting on the table here, so what do you think I did? Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So we've taken a look at mid-2000s era tablets on this channel before, but all of these have been full-sized Windows-based devices, whereas this right here runs Nokia's Debian-based operating system called Maemo, which was a relatively short-lived Linux distro that originally went by the very creative name of Internet Tablet 2005 Software Edition. But it was used on the various devices that Nokia released in their line of internet tablets throughout the 2000s, and the 770 here was the first. It was announced back in 2005 at that year's Linux World Conference and began selling in November for $360. And this device is kind of a weird oddity in that it doesn't perfectly fit into a specific product category. It wasn't a PDA because it had no form of personal info management, so no contacts, calendars, or to-do lists, or any way of syncing that with a computer. It wasn't a phone because, well, it couldn't make phone calls and didn't have any sort of IM client on it either. Really, the best way to describe this is a handheld touchscreen internet appliance that could also do a few things that internet appliances normally couldn't do, like having a media player, being able to run games, and even download third-party software. So it was pretty attractive to hobbyists because, I mean, this was Linux after all, and it didn't take long for developers to write and port software over to it. And speaking of developers, you know I love to use that segue into today's video sponsor, boot.dev, the site that makes learning to code feel like playing a game. Seriously, their entire learning platform is structured to feel like an RPG. There's XP to earn, achievements to gain, levels to advance through, and quests to complete, all while learning the ins and outs of Python and Go. Boot.dev's goal is to teach you back-end web development from start to finish and get you used to writing a ton of code, which they believe really is the best way to learn. And since their curriculum is completely self-paced, you can take as much time as you need on each course, with viewable solutions available to help you if you ever get stuck. Along with a vibrant Discord community where you can chat with others about your weekly progress and even participate in bi-monthly boss fights to gain bonus XP. On top of all that, boot.dev doesn't ever want you to feel like you wasted your money. And that's why they offer a 30-day, no questions asked refund policy and even allow you to demo every course before subscribing to a membership, which you can do by clicking the link below. And if you use code MichaelMJD at checkout, you'll get 25% off your first purchase. So be sure to check them out, and huge thanks again to boot.dev for making this video possible. So if you picked one of these things up back in 2005, this is the box you would have received it in. This one was apparently bought at CompUSA. And just to show you around a little bit, on the back here we've got some various blurbs about, its features and what you can do with it. We've got a diagram up here of what all the buttons do, and you have a Linux Tux mascot logo down here just to let you know that, hey, this thing runs Linux if you didn't know. If we open it up, we do have a few accessories inside that came with this. First up is this protective cover that goes over the touchscreen, like so, though you can also rotate it around to get a little bit of a better grip on the tablet while you're using it. In fact, that's how it is pictured being used in this photo here on the front. If we remove this packaging, we've got a couple of other things inside. This pouch right here for, carrying it around. We've got all of your documentation, connect to the internet. You've got your quick start guide in another language, and you've got your full manual right here. Which is in a couple of different languages too. We have the USB cable, which you can see has certainly seen better days. We'll just go ahead and set that aside. This does use just standard mini USB, so I mean I've got some other cables I can use instead of that one. We've got a stand here, which this actually took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to figure out how this works. What you do is you put these two pieces together like this, and then you set this down and set the tablet up on it like that. And this tends to work a little bit better without the protective covering. So yeah, you just, set it up like that, and you can use it, on a tabletop or whatever. Of course, we also have your power cable. We've got a spare stylus, and we have a 64 megabyte MMC card. Now, these little things are exactly the same size as an SD card, just to show you them right on top of each other there. And that's because, without going too much into detail here, SD cards are essentially an improvement on top of multimedia cards. And just like SD cards have, micro SD cards as a smaller variant, multimedia cards had smaller variants too, and this is one of those, because you can actually just separate this top piece from this bottom part, which is mainly just meant to adapt this, to a larger slot. But this is what goes into the internet tablet. In fact, there's one in there already that's a much larger size, which has been useful for copying stuff over. Specification-wise, this thing has a 252 megahertz ARM-based CPU, 64 megabytes of RAM, which was a common complaint in reviews because people said that was just too low for, running multiple applications on this thing. It's got a 4.1-inch 800 by 480 display, 128 megabytes of internal flash memory, though only 64 megabytes of that is available to the user, and this was expandable through the use of these MMC cards. As I mentioned, it shipped with the Internet Tablet OS 2005, but it could be upgraded to version 2006. And just to give you a size comparison here, this thing is almost exactly the same size as the bottom half of a Nintendo DS Lite. So I'll put the DS Lite on top of the tablet here, and you can see just how close in size that they are. On the left here, you've got your navigation controls. You got a speaker up there. On the top, you've got your volume and power controls. On the bottom here, you've got your mini USB port, your power port, and your headphone jack. You've got your MMC card slot right here, and on the back you've got your removable battery, which is accessible by taking that cover off, and you have your stylus, which is a very flat stylus. Alright, so now let's dive into this software a little bit. So first thing I want to talk about is connecting this thing to the internet, because you actually have two ways of doing that, both of which are briefly detailed in this Connect to the Internet pamphlet here. So of course you can connect it to a Wi-Fi network, or you can utilize your mobile phone's cellular connection if your phone supports that, by connecting to it over Bluetooth. And it tells you how to do that on the bottom half of this pamphlet here, and it goes into more detail on that inside of the instruction manual. We're not going to mess around with that because we can just connect this, to my Wi-Fi network, which I've already done. So it shows up here in this little status bar. You see that W means it's connected over Wi-Fi, and that's how you get access to the connection manager and also just disconnect from the internet entirely. But over here in this little toolbar is our web browser. We have our email client, and then this brings up all of the other applications on the system. So we're just going to go to our web browser here, and we'll open a new browser window. And it's just loaded up a local page, so we're going to tap on the address bar, and it brings up our on-screen keyboard, which is a little bit of an odd layout. And this was something that was mentioned in a couple of the reviews that I saw on this thing from back then. Because, you don't have your row of number keys above the letter keys here. You do have the number pad over here, but, because of that, you got weird things like the @ symbol being over here. But this also supports handwriting recognition. So you can get to that by tapping on this icon in the bottom left, go to input method, change it to handwriting. And, I always say this anytime hand recognition comes up, but my handwriting kind of sucks. That's not what I wanted to write. It somehow picked up a space in between there, but we'll do O, G, L, E, dot. And, oh yeah, that's the other thing. So, the handwriting recognition, like right now, the mode that it's in, it's only going to recognize me writing out letters. That's what it's going to think that I'm writing out every single time. If I want to change that to have it recognize symbols, like the dot, to, write in a domain, you have to tap this icon over here just once for it to switch to symbol mode. Now I can write a period there, and it will not detect that. Let's try that again. There we go. And then switch back over to letters, and then write .com, and we will hit enter, and it'll go to google.com, or at least try to load that page. So yeah, definitely some interesting choices there for the handwriting recognition. We also have email, so we can go in here. I don't have any email account, set up on this thing, but I'll show you what the interface looks like anyways. So we'll say cancel here, but you see we got inbox, outbox, draft, sent, archive. So all your folders here on the left, your message on the right, and then you have a, toolbar along the bottom here for controls. And then this last item over here on the left is your applications menu, or start menu if you want to use Windows terminology. And then up here at the top, you've got all your status indicators and controls for like brightness. You've got volume right here, which you also have physical volume buttons up here on the top. And then on the home screen, you got a couple widgets. So you got news, internet radio, this Nokia image, and a clock down here. Now this is just actually a shortcut to the Nokia website, but you are able to customize this to whatever website you want. You can put whatever image you want there. And you see when you have an application open, if you've not already noticed this, it does show you your running applications right here underneath these pinned items. So this is like your taskbar, so to speak, and this is kind of your quick launch area. So we're going to just say cancel. It's trying to load. I mean, this is not going to load properly because this is, the modern Nokia site. You do have a little bit of customizability with these widgets, but you can only just hide the ones you don't want to see. You can't rearrange them, and you can't add any additional ones. But that's all changed from this little menu up here. So if I don't want the news, for instance, I can unpin that. And I can maybe unpin web shortcut. But, if I were to just unpin all of these, you can't, like, as I said, rearrange them. So if I bring up the clock, it's always going to show up here. I can't, drag it around or anything. I can't, hold on it. It's just stuck in that fixed position. But we'll just bring all of these back up. And then you also have web shortcut details. This is where you can change the image and what web address that it points to. And then you also have screen settings here for changing the background image, personalization, and screen calibration. So let's hop into personalization here, because you do have a couple of different themes that you're able to apply. You have 4 pre-installed ones. So we'll set to theme 2 here maybe. And these all just change, the color of the windows, and it changes the background image. But you can change that to your own custom one if you want to. So here's theme 3. To actually see what the background image is it just like a static white image? I guess there's actually no background image applied, it's just a solid color right now. So yeah, you've got that one, and then we have the, oh wait, no, it was just it just didn't fully apply yet. So we have that same background, and then here is theme number 4. I'm actually curious to see if this news application can update. I have a, yeah, it's not going to be able to pull anything in. So this is just an RSS reader, so we can just type in a, an RSS feed that's still active. But I got /dot added in here, and you can see that we are able to pull recent headlines and everything. So, we can scroll down and view all that stuff. And now, if we go back to the menu here, you can see under news, now it's actually showing up. So now if I want to view this article on ChatGPT here, I guess, we can tap on that, and it will bring us back into the news reader and just load that article up on the right side here. So yeah, we'll get out of that. I want to try out this internet radio thing. I've not messed around with this. Looks like we've got 2 stations, AccuRadio Hitcast and Classic Rocktopia. So let's just hit play here and see what happens. My guess is it's not going to load anything, but you never know. And yeah, connection to radio channel failed. Try again. Okay, so we can try. I mean, I'm sure this other one's going to do the exact same thing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, not surprising. So this is just the volume. Yeah, and then this is this the settings, I guess, or audio player loading. All right, well, having a look at the manual here tells us that you can add a radio stream by going up here to this menu and go to playlist and then add stream. You can also just open, tracks here if you want to, and then you got, playback controls right here. You can change your view options, and you got, tools, and you can just close out of it right from here. Those are all the widgets and everything on the home screen. Now what I want to do is go back into here and go into the file manager and access stuff on the MMC card, because I've copied over some files. So we'll hop into the memory card, and we'll start with some music. So I got a couple of tracks that I use in my videos. So we'll start with Bet on It. This is my outro music. We'll just have it play here, and you can hear plays back totally fine. We can seek through the song a little bit. So, yeah, there you go. Now, if I want to add something to this playlist, I can just hit this plus button down here, and we can go back into my memory card, and we'll go to music and add rest. Now, this is the time-lapse music that I use, actually not as frequently as I used to. I should really start doing some more time-lapses in these videos. But yeah, so change the volume. So there you go. Now this does support a good variety of different file types, so here's a list of them. And keeping with the music theme, I've actually copied over a couple of album covers to this images folder, so we can open up one of those here. Now these files are pretty large, so when I switch between them, it will take a little while to open up. So there's one. Pretty great album, by the way. Another pretty great album, and last but not least, another pretty great album, which is completely unrelated in terms of genre to these other two. You guys should see my music playlist. It's kind of all over the place. So yeah, I got a couple images there. I did copy over a few PDFs. So we're going to start with this welcome one because this is just a single page. This is actually the welcome, poster from the Windows 7 House Party materials that I showcased in that video. You can check it out here if you missed it. A really bizarre marketing campaign that Microsoft did back when Windows 7 launched. There it is. So we can, scroll down. Now this other one here is the user's manual for the ThunderScan, a pretty cool peripheral that I wasn't able to get working properly, but I showcased briefly. Yeah, this one just uses up so much memory that it just says to please close some applications so the system doesn't crash. I'm gonna go ahead and just do that here if we can, because I think this is probably going to crash the system. Yeah, you don't want to open up really large PDFs on this thing. You're not going to have a really fun time. Okay, we were able to get out of that, thankfully. So yeah, PDFs, you can open them up assuming they're not, super large. And what else do we have? Well, there is a video player. I did not copy over a video file, apparently, but there is... There is an Ice Age 2 trailer on here. I don't know if this was a sample file or if this was, copied over by somebody. It's either way, it's really hilarious. But you can see it plays back here. I'm not going to really play a whole lot of this just to avoid, a potential copyright claim. But, it shows up and it plays the video, in terms of frame rate and everything. Plays back totally fine, although this is a pretty low quality video, as you can see. So yeah, those are the media consumption applications that come pre-installed on here. And then of course you have utilities. You've got a calculator, a clock, which I think is separate from the the clock widget. This is like a whole, you actually got like a world map in here, and you can add different time zones and stuff. Can you add more than two? Okay, I think you only have these two, so you have home city and destination city. In addition to the clock, we have a calculator, a notes program, and a sketch program. So this is probably going to be like a paint program, I would imagine. Or not like a paint program, that's literally what it is. So, we can draw stuff. Now, I'm sure you saw that we do have a games folder in here, so we got to hop in and check these out. So we've got chess, mahjong, and marbles. So we'll start out with chess. Yeah, we'll just hit play here. I mean, it's chess, right? I'm just kind of curious to see what the layout looks like. Okay, so it is a full screen application. And so we can, go ahead and just move like that. And there's our sound effects. It shows, our moves up here. We have mahjong, which I have no idea how to play, so I'm not going to even try, but, there it is. And then we've got marbles. And it looks like these games all have the same menu interface where you can set, settings before you begin. It looks like, we got this image over here. I'm assuming we need to get these marbles in that configuration. And then this is the level selector, which here, we'll just say cancel. And we got 20 moves. Okay, so let's see here. We need one of these to be up top. And then let's, I guess, just move this one here, up there. Oh no, don't do that. Oh no. Okay, well now I wasted moves. I didn't want to move that one. I don't know why I did that. What am I doing? Okay. No, I want to click this one. I don't want to do that. Alright, now I've just wasted a bunch of moves. Okay. There we go. move this down over here, up here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this in the correct amount of moves. That's unfortunate, because I only got 2 left. And yeah, I mean, I can do that, but yep, I lost. So yeah, that's what you got to do. So you got to move these around, get them in that configuration, and then you'll advance on to the next level. And I assume they're going to get more and more difficult as you go on. All right, so now we can get to what I think is going to be the most exciting part of this video, and that is, of course, installing some third-party applications. So we'll hop into the file manager again and go back to the memory card, and under apps here, we've got a few things to take a look at. So of course we've got Doom on here because that's just pretty much a requirement. Although to install Doom we have to run this Memo Games startup. This is kind of like a prerequisite. So it opens up in the application installer, and then it just prompts us, do you want to install this package? We'll say yes, and it will install that, and there we go. In this application installer, this is like the package manager, so it shows us the installed packages. We can also access that from the control panel. But now we're going to run LX Doom here. All right, so we'll hit OK. So it should have added that in the applications menu. You can see now we actually have to scroll down. It's added this extras folder, and there's LX Doom. So we get a similar menu interface like we saw in those other games. We can choose single or multiplayer. Let's see what settings we have, if anything. We got nothing, so we'll do single player, and we will play. And check that out. Man, does it ever get old seeing Doom run on like stupid hardware like this? So, unfortunately, we don't have music working in this version. I'm going to actually just go ahead and start a game so I can talk without, hearing all this gunfire. So yeah, you can use the arrow keys up here, or the not really the D-pad, arrow keys is probably the best way to describe this pad up here. The navigation pad, whatever you want to say. You can use this to move up, down, left, and right, and then you can use this with your stylus to move the camera around, and then you can press the center key to fire. And yeah, so that's pretty much how you want to move around. So let's just oh my gosh, that's a little bit way too crazy there. So let's see if I can complete this level. Man, having the music not working is kind of weird. Although we don't even need, yeah, we can just move just like this. Or I mean, well, not really super effective. We can move forward because you can drag up and like move around like this, but moving backwards is not really effective because there's not any screen real estate down there to move around in. But yeah, the sensitivity is kind of wonky. I think that using this is probably the best. Of course, it's not, I mean, this is not an ideal way to play this game whatsoever, but like, I mean, when has that ever been a priority on this channel? So yeah, we'll pick up our armor there. We'll go over here. I know that's annoying. Do you hear that? As I'm holding this down, it's playing that sound effect. That's pretty obnoxious. But yeah, we'll go over here. We'll hit the use key. Open that up. All right, we got some enemies here. Let me see if I can actually... Oh my gosh. Okay, so step right and step left is just like holding down these keys. So you can like kind of do that if you want to. I really think that using this is probably, if you just get used to it. Of course, you can't fire. Yeah, you have to click on this or press on that to fire. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, yeah. So moving around, not particularly fun, especially when we get over here. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a disaster. And look at me just moving this whole thing around. Oh no, there's a wall there. Oh gosh. No. Okay. Alright, let's try to carefully not fall. Oh, no, oh my gosh. I don't want to fall in. Let's just go up like this. Okay. Alright, we're looking good. We'll use. I got a little bit closer. Alright, I got him. And. Alright. Use. There we go. And we'll go. We'll hit over here. We'll get over here and we'll use that. There we go. All right. Let's see how much time this took. Jeez. 3 minutes and 19 seconds. So yeah, I mean, I think it goes without saying, playing Doom on here, not going to be ideal, but you can do it. It runs Doom. Totally possible. We'll say why to quit there. So yeah, that is Doom. I do have a couple of other things in here. So we've got Memo Blocks. This is kind of like a Tetris clone. At least that's what the description said. Now, by the way, getting third-party applications. So there is a website called memo.org, which is still up today, and that hosts just a ton of packages for these operating systems. However, one thing I've noticed is they don't seem to have downloads for the 2005 release. They only have starting with 2006. So I actually downloaded these applications from an archived version of memo.org from around the time when this tablet launched, and there was a bunch of stuff available for this version of the operating system. So Memo Blocks successfully installed. So we'll close out of the package manager and we'll go back to here, and in that extras folder we'll launch Memo Blocks. All right, so let's begin. And okay, so this one we got to actually rotate the device here. So let me just readjust the camera a little bit. And yeah, it's, you know, it's like Tetris. Let's see if we can, unfortunately, it doesn't look like there is the option to slowly bring the piece down, which is I definitely prefer that. See, there I just went trying to move it down, you know, one line at a time. Doesn't work. But yeah, we can, you know, change the orientation of the piece, we can bring it down, and yeah, that is Memo Blocks. Those are the two games that I've copied over. And we also have Tux Paint. There we go, successfully installed. Get out of that, and we'll hop back to, I keep wanting to go down there to get to the applications, but no, it's up here. Extras, Tux Paint. Look at that. Tux Paint does not seem to be launching. You know, I think this might have been for the newer operating system version, because I know I did grab some packages for the 2006 version just to see if they'd work on here. I think Tux Paint might have been one of those. It's not starting up either way. Well, there is one more thing, this BT keyboard plugin. So like I mentioned earlier, this thing has Bluetooth functionality built in for, you know, connecting it to your phone and using your phone's cellular connection. Unfortunately, one of the things it could not do was connect to a Bluetooth keyboard without this application. This is a third-party program that somebody wrote to solve this problem. So we're going to press OK here, have it install, and it says it's a Hildon status bar plugin for connecting Bluetooth keyboards. So does that mean it's going to add it up here? Let's see if it makes a thing in extras. It does not. Okay, well that's interesting. I might have to look back at the instructions to see exactly what we're supposed to do here. But I'm curious if we go into like control panel. No, nothing in here. My guess is, you know what we probably have to do is go up here and select phone. We probably have to connect to, because yeah, this is where you would connect to a phone through Bluetooth. So let's say next, and then let me get this Bluetooth keyboard powered on. Holy cow, there it is. It found it. Okay, enter the passcode on your phone. Okay, we'll just enter on the keyboard 0531. I don't know if that really does anything. We'll say next. Pairing failed. Ah, man. Well, at least it found it. Yeah, this could very well be just because of a difference in, you know, Bluetooth versions. I mean, I imagine this keyboard's probably backwards compatible with older iterations of Bluetooth. I'm not sure, but let me have a look at the instructions for this thing and see what we're supposed to do. Okay, well, the first thing it says to do is restart the device when you install it, and there should be a Bluetooth icon. Oh, look at that. So we do have a Bluetooth icon up here. Connect input device. Oh, okay, here it is. Type the passcode on your keyboard and press enter. Oh, it didn't give me time to do that. Let's just try it again. 3289. Enter. There it is. Device successfully paired. Okay, so now, hey, we haven't taken a look at the text program yet. Let's go to utilities and notes, and we'll tap there. And now, maybe not. Well, I'm trying. Oh, it just restarted. You know, I wonder, do we have to change the input method here? No? Still keyboard. Okay, tools, settings, input method. Okay, we don't have like a third option in there. The weird thing is I don't know how to remove a keyboard from this list. like, I wanted to try and find this device again and not, you know, try and connect to it. Let's see if we can connect to first keyboard found. We don't have the option to pair. What if we change the layout? Will that, I just want to get rid of this here. And if we say pair with device, watch what happens. Okay, it's in pairing mode. I just hit OK. It'll say pairing, and then device successfully paired. But this is still in pairing mode. So, yeah, like, I mean, and it's definitely not like I can go back here to notes and type on it, and it's just not doing anything. Okay, so I just went through the phone setup again, and I was able to get it to do a search and find this device and enter the code and press enter, and now it says selected phone does not have the services that can be used, select another phone. So it is able to still search for the device and try to pair with it, even though it's not, you know, I don't know why I did air quotes there, because that's literally what it was trying to do. But yeah, okay, now though the Bluetooth device is like gray, so I wonder if we... Okay, Bluetooth device connected. Is it the same? Yeah, it still shows up in here. I don't know why. Why does it not get rid of... Oh, wait. Oh, holy cow, it's working. Okay. Well, okay, so we got it to work. I don't really know how, but we got... So, yeah, there we go. Hello world, check that out. Okay, that's awesome. You know, I think what happened there is when we tried to start the pairing from the phone application here, it shut off this one, and then when that failed, we could go back in here and hit connect, and it just connected to the saved keyboard that it had in there. And you see now it says disconnect input device. And if we go to keyboard settings, I mean, it still shows up in there. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So you can use that application to connect Bluetooth keyboards to this thing even today. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for everything that I wanted to show you about the Nokia Internet tablet from 2005. If you guys enjoyed this one, definitely be sure to give it a thumbs up, get subscribed, maybe consider becoming a patron or a channel member to get early access to these videos before anybody else. But either way, I just want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.